Wholly unexpected retirements, Batman, as Drew Dalman has announced he's going to be retiring from the NFL. What does this mean for the Chicago Bears, and how does this change the complexity of the Chicago Bears offseason? We'll talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We got Bobby, myself, Hayes in the building. And Bobby, I listen, something unexpected happens every offseason, right? Like that just happens. It comes with the territory. But this, you could have gave me 1,000 guesses, bro, and I wouldn't have guessed something like this. 27-year-old Drew Dalman has announced he is retiring from the NFL, man. More details to come out. I'm guessing, with him being only 27 years old, it may be, I don't want to speculate, but it makes you think that maybe health-wise or something like that's going on. But how you feeling, Bobby?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This a gut punch. For the first time in a long time, shit, probably my whole life, I could be like, damn, this is the best Bears offensive line that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Especially holding the channel with y'all, man. And it just sucks. But on the football side, you got to understand where the man's coming from. It's probably a decision that was tough for him because he's so young, still had many years to go. And it just adds on to the difficulties that the Bears are gonna have to figure out this offseason, and I'm pretty sure it starts next week. I am a little bit confident in the coaching staff. Dan Rochard has done an outstanding job this past season. But, man, does it suck to not have that continuity available to you at least for another season. We was already down Ozzie with the left tackle and gonna have to figure out things with that route. But, man, this one sucks.
You know what's funny about this is that on my episode today, I don't know if you got a chance to watch it or not, I talked about players that stood out at the draft combine, and I actually talked about a center. And I was talking about a center strictly at that point saying, hey, we can get a young center here. We can develop him. He could be a depth piece. And that's Yeager Burton, the center out of Kentucky.
Okay.
At this point now, I don't know if you saw, he broke the record for the 40 time for centers. He's a big body there. So there are centers in this draft the Bears can go after. It just sucks that Drew Dalman was a veteran. You knew exactly. And we've talked about before we got Drew Dalman, the importance of the center in the NFL is so important. They're the only player guaranteed to touch the ball every single play. So you're going to have to invest in that. Now, the benefit, and I don't want to talk about it because I want to know what's going on with him first as a human. But if any benefits coming from this, we know the Bears are right up against the salary cap. This is $14 million that's going to come back on the salary cap for the Chicago Bears. So
I agree with you, and we getting more news. This is per Ian Rappaport that the Bears already are trying to fill the center spot. They're going to be hosting a visit with Washington Commanders starting center Tyler Biadasz.
Makes sense.
And I was also going to say, we still got an hour. I have not seen the Baltimore Ravens sign Tyler Linderbaum. Yeah, that's an option out there. He's really, really good. I would imagine the chances of them snatching him up is very, very slim, though. But yeah, man, there's just they say like they already kind of knew what was gonna come. Because I think today was
before they announced it. I'm sure
right?
Drew talked to Ryan Poles. I'm sure he informed the team of whatever's going on well before it got announced. So this is something that they probably had to have had time to already prepare for. They probably already got, like you said, they already, planning a workout and a visit. That means they probably already have a list of players that they already had planned to look at with all this.
So. Yeah, man. It just adds on to the complexity of the things. It's going to be interesting to see how free agency opens up, and I believe it starts next week. But it's about to be wild over here in Chicago. Can we be off-season champs for 4 years in a row, Hayes?
Man, I think we're gonna have to be, bro. Like, I think it's gonna be in a much different way, but I think we're gonna have to be like but just all the maneuvering that Poles is gonna have to do just to be able to improve the team from where it was last year, as far as with the defensive line, was already gonna have to take a lot of cooking for a GM to be able to do. Now you got to replace a position that nobody thought you would have to replace on top of that.
Yeah.
Poles gonna have to cook, bro.
He gonna have to cook, and it's tough having rookie centers come in. It's not saying that they not capable and can get better as the season goes on, but man, do some young offensive linemen get beat up in their first years? We seen it plenty of times, and then sometimes it take them to sit out a couple games. Like Isaac Trapillo, he had to sit for a while, and then he came in and performed well after learning and getting a little bit more comfortable, but. It's gonna be interesting to see how they pivot. I see people putting Luke Newman out there, but I thought he played guard. Did he have center
I mean, he
experience? I
has some
don't
center
remember.
experience too, but I think he's going to be better as a swing at this point. Like
Right.
the Bears, with what the offensive line was last year, and how important. Like Caleb Ben Johnson talked about it. I don't think they'll go with the question mark like Luke Newman. They're gonna try to get in somebody that either a high draft pick that they know can come in and step in and start day one, or they're going to pivot and bring in a veteran. And to your point, there's some veterans that are going to be out there now with the fact that Drew Dalman's contract coming off the books, and we know that Jermaine's either going to be traded or he's going to be outwardly cut. The Bears are going to have space to be able to sign a starting center. But let me ask you this: now, because they are going to probably want a veteran center, do you think this makes it more or less likely that they go after one of the big time edges out there, or are they probably going to look for? I've already kind of been leaning that edge is probably going to be addressed in the draft rather than go after a $20 million edge. I think this kind of solidifies that a little bit.
That's exactly what I thought when I read the breaking news from Adam Schefter. I'm like, yeah, this doesn't signal or give you any reason to go after Max Crosby, for instance, because it's being reported that they want a Micah Parsons type deal. And I'm like, no, you don't want to completely gut all your draft capital and players just for one player, even though he'll be a hell of a player over here. But hey, Albert Breer is now reporting that the Bears have sniffed around Tyler Linderbaum. So it seems like they kind of knew this was gonna happen, but I think if I remember correctly, the actual league year started today. So they or it should be started soon. So the good thing is that they got it out the way. It's just tough. But I'm with you though. I think that right now the emphasis is going to be placed on the draft. Maybe a few free agent signings here, maybe something that don't hurt your draft capital so much. And then the Bears will just do what they do, lean on their coaching staff. If we remember correctly, at the trade deadline, Brian Pose was trying to hit a home run at the trade deadline, and Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson was like, no, let's stay the course. So maybe that's their frame of mindset heading into free agency in the draft this year, but anything could change. Anything could change.
I mean, hell, look at this. We didn't expect this to happen. This was a major change. So we'll see. I mean, listen, this is what your GM, they have to, do things on the fly. There are unexpected things that can happen at any point in time. First of all, I do want to say, because we had, I kind of jumped into the news. First off, whatever's going on with Drew Dalman, prayers to him and his family with whatever's going on that's causing this unexpected retirement. People don't leave $42 million on the table very often. So it's something fairly pretty serious in that case to retire from the NFL at 27 years old at the time where you're at the peak of your game. Like the Bears didn't only allowed, how many sacks did we allow last year?
I think like 30, 28, 30,
27, I think it was. I think it was 27.
So around now.
Yeah, so shout out to that, but prayers up to him. But now Ryan Poles and everybody got to get to work. And that's just the reality.
You got to get to work, man, because they just I know that they was like, damn, man, because y'all got a lot of tough decisions to make all throughout the week during the draft combine, that they got a lot of decisions to make, because you don't want to make a move that's going to hurt your locker room, but you got to also consider your cap space and all this stuff. But that's why they get paid the big bucks and not me. So you got to let them go out there and do their jobs. And the good thing is, for the most part, we got a lot of pieces in order that you just got to figure it out and work through it. I think we'll be good.
That's a fact. So I do see some misconceptions on he took a payday and dipped. He's retiring. He doesn't get his money. Now, I think he still gets a signing bonus.
I think the way it works, he holds on to that, but the Bears, he not getting paid, but the Bears will still hold his rights until the contract is over, I believe.
Yes, there you go. So if whatever's going on that caused him to retire, if that gets figured out, the Bears do have the rights to bring him back if they decide to do so, whatever happens there. But yeah, he's going to get a signing bonus. He's not going to get the full contract. So there you go on that one.
Yeah. So man, it sucks when a guy 27 years old, man. It's just it reminded me of when Patrick Willis just upped and retire. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What we doing, bro? You still cold.
Just to put this in perspective for how young Drew Dalman is, he's only 2 years older than Steve-O, Bobby.
It's crazy.
Just to put that in perspective, Drew Dalman is only 2 years older than Steve-O.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But man, we got to get to work. Maybe they got something else coming down the pike, surprise us. At least they getting to work with bringing guys in and checking in on other guys to see what they could possibly get. And we can make these moves, man.
Yeah. And so for y'all that are just popping in, Drew Dalman has announced his retirement from the NFL. The Bears already are pivoting, reportedly, according to Albert Breer, towards Tyler Linderbaum to try to bring him in for a workout and visit to see if they can sign him. And we just got to see what's next for the Chicago Bears in that case, man. This is very strange, but there will be more info to come out on and kind of add color to this. Bob, you got anything left before we get up out of here?
Yeah, the last thing is I still want them to draft offensive line help too. I believe I have a philosophy at this point where we at with the Bears. You should always be drafting offensive linemen or trenches players, period. That's on the defensive line as well. Whether you got to come in and try to take a chance on the guy that you can develop, continue to do what you need to do to keep the trenches as healthy as possible because those big guys be working for sure. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see.
Yeah, we shall see what's going to happen here, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central because y'all know, as y'all can see, when news drops, we drop. I mean, and this is the period of time. There's going to be a lot of news. We're going into that busy season, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to the channel as well. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified every time we drop a video and go live. That way you stay up to date with anything going on with the Chicago Bears. Bear down, y'all. We'll catch y'all on the next one, man. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Peace.
Crazy work.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.